Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor, and I haven't said that for a few weeks on a video, have I? If you're a regular follower of my YouTube stuff, then you'll know that there's been a little gap in videos for a few weeks. Of course, if you read the written blog, you'll know why that has happened. Anyway, I'm back on track now. Camcorder's on the go, rods are out, I'm after my favourite species, the perch. I'm looking forward to a good week. And I'm into my first fish. When I say that I'm here for a week, of course, I think it's a chub. It certainly took off, just a small one. When I say that I'm looking forward to the week, should I say, I don't mean I'm here for a week. I mean it's a week's fishing that I'm going to record on video, which of course, that's what my videos are. They're an insight into what I get up to on the bank. Anyway, I'll show you this small chub, so at least I'm not a blanker. And there it is, just a small one. And as you can see, I'm fishing with a clump of red maggots on a size 6 hook, and I don't know if that's coming out very well, but the fish had been feeding quite well. I've put plenty of loose maggots in, and its throat is absolutely rammed with them. Anyway, one down, how many to go? Let's see, shall we? It's a beautiful time of the year, isn't it? And walking along the canal, lots of wildflowers out in bloom, including butterbur. They're quite impressive when you see them in large colonies. And the butterbur is so named because many years ago, way back in time, before refrigeration, people used to use those large leaves to actually wrap butter in. And when you see them, sometimes in their hundreds in large colonies, the flowers and the large leaves, they're actually, as I say, very impressive. So keep an eye out for those if you're out and about at this time of the year. I think this could be another chub. It's certainly racing around like one, and it is. Slightly bigger than the other one, but nowhere near the size that I would like to catch. But as I said, with the one I had just now, not a blanker, am I? There it is. Very welcome. And look what I've just caught. I do love these so-called mini species, you know. It's a little rough. And I've just caught another one. And do you know, these are on my agenda. So I think I might have found a spot, hadn't I, to target. Watch this space, as they say. I think I might actually have my target species on at last. Yes, I have. Now, if that was a rough, that would be a monster. As it is, it's just a small perch. It's lively. And I'll tell you something, small but perfectly formed. And my third rough of the afternoon, or the evening, just a short session. Brilliant. And another one bites the dust. And another one, and actually it's still got the worm sticking out of its mouth there. This will be my my final fish of the session. Brilliant. I've really enjoyed this, and they weren't on my agenda before, but watch this space definitely in the next few weeks. Session 2, and I'm on a venue that hasn't featured in my blog yet for perch. I've been on here for an overnighter after carp and I blanked. But I know perch are in here. I don't know how many, I don't know the size they go to, I don't know the density of the fish here. But what I've done is I've headed for the shallow end of the lake. I'm fishing on a platform and I've got quite a bit of weed in front of me. You can see that coming through. So I fished beyond that onto a clear spot. I'm fishing with a cage feeder. It's fairly deep water out there. And I'm watching the rod right now. My bait's in the water. You know what? I've got a chance. Back at the car now, nothing at all in 5 hours, but as always, catch or blank, I've still enjoyed myself sitting there in the beautiful Shropshire countryside. Lots and lots of common frog tadpoles, a pair of grey wagtails were in the area, little grebe in stunning summer plumage, primrose, ramsons, that's wild garlic, other wildflowers all in bloom. All in all, a fantastic day. Sometimes it's a little bit more than just catching fish, isn't it? Having said that, that is what we go fishing for. Now my next session, I want to bang something, especially a decent perch. Back for my third session, and I'm on the canal. I'm fishing now, but as I arrived, there was a chiff-chaff right above me in the tree, so I got my camcorder set up and managed to film it. Not very good footage, but of course you can hear it quite clearly. So if you've never heard a chiff-chaff before, or maybe you've heard that sound, not sure what it was, it's a chiff-chaff, a sign that spring is definitely here. Anyway, they come in March, so we start to hear them from March onwards, right the way through the year till they return back to the warmer parts of the world. Although some do what we call overwinter, and they stay here right the way through. But I'm getting a few little taps on the rod there. Hopefully a perch, and not a rough, although I'm not complaining, of course. Well, it wasn't a perch, it was a roach. This isn't the one that I was having the initial plucks off, but I've been getting quite a few of these so far. Just minutes into the session, I've had 3 boats through already, so I'm hoping that that's it and it goes a little bit quiet as we head towards dark. I shouldn't really use the word pestered, because I do say on a regular basis there's no such thing as a nuisance fish, but I have been plagued by small roach. I was fishing maggot, so I decided to go for a worm approach, and lo and behold, I've caught another roach. Well, I've actually caught a perch. Not a big one, but being as it's my target species, I'm certainly more than happy with it. Anyway, it needs a disgorger, and I do get a few requests from time to time asking me about showing the disgorger, how to use it on camera, so that's what I'm going to do right now. First thing I need to do is to get my glasses on. As you can see, they're just cheap £1 reading glasses, but they'd serve me well through my fishing. Anyway, you can see there it's taking it down. What I do to give me like a third hand, if you like, is I put that in my mouth and I just tighten it up very, very gently, like so. As you saw, I wrapped the disgorger around the line a few times, went down very, very gently, and there it is, the perch minus the hook and the worm, and it's going back into the water now. I think I've got a little shoal moving in, or should I say a shoal of little fish. It's another similar sized one, but you can only catch what's in front of you, and as they are my favourite fish, they're all very welcome indeed. Some water movement there on the canal. Obviously a boat is coming through a lock. That's not what I wanted at this stage of the session, with about half an hour to go before dark. What I hope though is that the boat comes through and moors for the night before it passes me. Well, the boat did come through, as you saw. On the way back, I don't know if you spotted on that clip that's just been on, a nocturnal bat that was out up and down the canal feeding, so I managed to capture that briefly. Anyway, I'm rounding the week off. I'm on a local lake. I have got about 45 minutes up to dark, and I'm going to go spinning. That's a great thing about spinning, isn't it? That you can take your gear with you, and within seconds, a arriving at the bank, within seconds you're actually fishing. No need to bait up, no need to prepare a swim, no need for lots of heavy gear, all that sort of stuff. Just arrive, cast out, and hopefully you're into a fish pretty much from the start. Anyway, it would be nice to end with a decent perch, wouldn't it, this week? But we never know, do we? I'm going to get out there, and as I often say, as long as your bait's in the water, you've got a chance. And I suppose you could say, as long as your spinner's in the water, you've got a chance. 4 or 5 casts in, I've got a fish, not a perch. Have a guess what it is? It took a spinner. No surprises with it. It's it's a pike, and it's gone back a little bit quicker than I thought. That's why, of course, whenever you do filming, whenever you do any work in front of a camcorder, always kneel down on the ground like I was. So when that fish went, it just went in the water. No harm done. It's gone back. I've just had another small pike on, about the same size as that one previously that I showed briefly to the camera. The great thing is, about this sort of stuff, the water is very clear, it's very shallow, you fish in, and out of nowhere comes a perch, or in this case a couple of small pike. And you think to yourself, well, where are the fish? But of course, those of us who've been around a few years, who fish these sort of places, maybe a lot of anglers would just walk past them thinking there's nothing there, it's too shallow, I can see the bottom, no fish at all. So they'd walk past, and we fish them. And in this case, I've had one very small pike landed, one very small pike missed. But in times gone by, on these very spots that I'm fishing now, I've actually caught some pretty decent perch. So it just shows, doesn't it? Never neglect the margins, the shallows, the parts of the lake that many anglers walk past. Give them a go, you never know what's in there. I've just had 2 pike follow the lure right to the edge. 2 separate fish as well, in successive casts. So it's certainly pike night tonight, isn't it? No sign whatsoever of any perch though. It's funny, isn't it, the way it is sometimes. Never mind, I'm a happy camper, as always. And I'm not a blanker either, am I? Even though I've only caught a tiny, tiny pike so far.